Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is so good to be back with you guys on this beautiful, beautiful Monday. Hey, listen, we got something to talk about today. And I know this is not going to be sexy. I know it's not going to be popular. I know people may not like it. But on behalf of me and all the other people that don't care, we don't care. But first of all, I want to shout out to the family. You know, we got to start with the family first. We're going to start out with Randy. Thank you, Randy, for being always being supportive. You are wonderful. Thank you so much. Got to give you yours. Randy, thank you so much. Thank you. Real Talk with Mimsy Lim. So long, so good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. What's going on? All right, Stephen Day, man. You already know, man. You already know what's going on. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for my boys. Yeah. Inya. That's going on. What's going on, man? It is so good. It's so good to be back with you guys. Over the weekend, I'd be like, man, I want to go on, but I don't want to do too much. You got to have your family time. You got to go do other things, but I'll be missing you guys. So I want to go ahead and get started, and I'll do an overview when I get back in. So, guys, what if I told you that there was a time where women were physically dominated, were abused physically, were down, talked to, or treated very severely physically? I mean, I know it happens now verbally, but physically. There's a lot of women's rights and a lot of things that there's a lot of women's rights. There's a lot of things that's going on right now as far as women equality. Now, I will say, when it comes to the feminist movement, there are some things that I absolutely 100% can't not stand. I think the feminist movement was a reason for half of the family being broken down, but that's a discussion for a late night show on Tuesdays, 8:30 Central Standard Time, Friday, 8:30 Central Standard Time as well. But we won't talk about that now. We're just going to talk about the thing at hand here. Valentine's Day. This is not going to be sexy. A lot of people are not going to want to hear this, and it's okay. But if I don't bring it to you, if I don't tell you, then how we know? So let's talk about it. How about I show you? How about I show you a small clip, and then we'll talk about it? I think that would be better. So I'm gonna show you guys a small clip, and then once I show you this small clip, then we'll discuss it, especially in the chat. All right, let's do that. Here we go. All right. Now, I want to go ahead and show you guys this. All right. Now, again, this is I'm gonna give a disclaimer. This is not going to be sexy. Okay. This is absolutely 100% not going. Let me go say this to you guys so you guys can see me here. This is not going to be sexy, but effective. Okay. To each his own after this. I'm just here to teach. Right. I'm just here to let you guys know where some of this, where the origins of some of this stuff comes from. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Here we go.
The association between mid-February and romance goes back to a pagan festival known as Lupercalia, likely honoring either Lupa, the she-wolf of Rome, who suckled Romulus and Remus, or Faunus, their god of fertility. The festivities began with an animal sacrifice. Then the ritualistic slapping of young women with strips of the animal's skin and blood to bestow fertility for the coming year. In the 5th century, perhaps in an effort to Christianize the pagan festival, Pope Gelasius declared February 14th as St. Valentine's Day. As for the real St. Valentine, There were reportedly several canonized by the Church. Legend has it that one Saint Valentine, a defiant Roman priest, lived during the 3rd century AD under Emperor Claudius II. Claudius was an ambitious ruler. His battles required vast armies of men to abandon their young families for long periods of time, resulting in a military that was half-hearted and homesick. So determined was Claudius to stop love from sapping the will of his armies, he banned marriages altogether. Father Valentine thought the ban unjust and defied the emperor, continuing to marry young lovers in secret. The emperor eventually caught on to the priest's actions, arrested him, and sentenced him to death. Cupid, the winged matchmaker, started out as the Roman god of love, inspired the image of cherubs for Christians, and is now a favorite of card makers and mass marketers.
Hi guys, listen. I know some people just got here. Wally, what's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Hell Speaks is in the building. Sir Hell Speaks, man, thank you for being here. Hey guys, so if you just watched the video and you just came in, the first 30 seconds of that video said everything. So yeah, Valentine's Day was not Valentine's Day. It was a Valentine's. Let's pull up the receipts here because I want to make sure when I do something I'm accurate. All right, Randy, thank you. I appreciate the you giving me that props because I knew this wasn't going to be sexy. So but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's pull up the receipts here. That's what we're going to do. Pull up the receipts and then we'll take a look at it. Because I want to make sure that when I do these type of things, you got to have proof. You just can't get on here talking, right? You got to have the receipts. So listen, I pulled this up from Time Magazine, very credible magazine. And as you'll see here, it says the truth about the connection between Valentine's Day and ancient Roman festival, Lupercalia. Now watch this. In this Valentine's Day celebration, and what we celebrate, they use Christianity to cover up something that was so demonic, right? So they use Christianity, like you guys saw. This is written. This is fact. This is not something that I'm making up. This is absolutely 100% facts. Okay. So what they did was they took the young girls, right? They would take a goat and they would sacrifice a goat, and then they would take the skin of the goat and thread the skin of the goat, and they would beat the women with it. And then to go into a deeper thing, you guys need to really, really research these things. And once they beat the girls that would survive the most, right? These girls, now keep in mind, these girls aged between the ages of 12 and 13 years old. And so they would take they would thread the goat after they sacrificed the goat. They would thread the skin of the goat and beat the girls, right? Just beat them. And once they beat them, the girl that would survive the beatings would be the next girl up for one of the older men, would be probably be mid-40s. The 12-year-old would then be given over to the 40-year-old for marriage because she survived it. Now they called it the festival of fertility, right? So they start introducing this festival where you can go and do these things to young women, and you could go do these things and have this type of festival. And people start saying, "Whoa, this is more interesting than Christianity. I want to test this. I'm going to go do some paganistic stuff. I want to go over there." And as you guys can see in the video on History Channel, listen, History Channel did a whole thing on it. I couldn't believe it that something mainstream media would do that. But they did a whole soliloquy on that. And so what happened when they did their research, it shows that the churches were empty. People stopped going to church because they wanted to participate in this connection between Valentine's Day and ancient Rome. Now, what the Catholic Church did was he said, "Listen, I'm tired of losing church members. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our most popular guys in the Bible, wink, wink, and we're going to make him the guy that spawned this thing, and we're going to make it out of love. So we're going to cover it up. We're going to put some lipstick on it, and we're going to say it's the day of love. We're going to call it. We're not going to call it festa the festival of fertility anymore, or Lupercalia anymore. We're going to call it after the man himself who called for it to be put under the Christian umbrella, Saint Valentine." This day was celebrated on February the 15th. However, they took the day so it wouldn't be so close to the day that people celebrated on the 15th, and they moved it to the 14th. They took the nasty name off of it and what they did in the rituals, and they moved it to the 14th. And they call it Valentine's Day after the man that came up with the idea. But the rituals continued to go on, right? They continued to do it for years and years now. Now, what we've done in this day and age, we've decided to make it a marketing tool. And people, I'm looking at the number here, spend billions of dollars on gifts for today. They also, for their children, cards for class, stuff for school, snacks for the parties, the little Valentine's Day clothes. You can't go eat dinner anywhere because everything's booked up. Now, I will say this. We do need to start, if you're married and your husband, you need to start loving your wife throughout the year. A holiday should not signify, just one holiday should not signify your wife on just that day. You should celebrate your wife every day, right? And if you celebrate her every day, then when holidays come that you don't celebrate, then she won't feel the need to be attached to such a thing because you're celebrating your wife, the one that you married and chose, every day. I think I put that out there. But let's get to the article. Um, oh yes, let's get some of these comments. So Adrian said, I have permission to slap people today. See, that's the thing, guys. We stand for a lot of things, but do we stand for everything, right? Because if we can sit here and say we stand for right, but do we really? If it benefits us, do we really stand for right? If it benefits us? I like Valentine's Day. Now I'm gonna talk about everything on on Sunday about all the bad stuff. On Sunday that I'm against, but the stuff that I like, I'm gonna neglect it. No, no, no. That's not what I'm not gonna do that here. I'm gonna address everything. Valentine's Day was a very horrible, is a very horrible and demented and uh, bad day for young women. I'm gonna say young women, young ladies, little girls between the age of the article says between 11 and 12. I'm sorry, from 11 to 14 years old. That they would beat them with these goat skin and the girl that would survive it and come out of it would be the one that would be given to the man who was in his 40s to carry. He wanted to create a legacy, a single man. So he would force her into marriage, force her into pregnancy, and move forward. Anya, how you doing, girl? Anya, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, again, back to the article here. Let's get a little more information and go to the news. Um, it says here, long before Valentine's Day was celebrated, a festival that had nothing to do with it, with love, took place around the same time of year. It was called Lupercalia, and it occurred on February the 15th, which I just said. Uh-huh. Each year in ancient Rome, instead of flowers and chocolates and the festival was marked by more ominous rituals. Centuries later, the coincidence of the calendar has led to frequent speculation that the Lupercalia festival is one of the earliest ancestors of Valentine's Day. The ancient festival's association with fertility has only added to the idea. But in fact, the relationship between Lupercalia and Valentine's Day remains clear, and some historians argue that there is no relationship at all, but that is untrue. After research, right? What is known about Lupercalia is that it started with an act of sacrifice. Priests of the god Lupercus, called the Luperci, would take off their clothes and slaughter goats in the Lupercal, the cave that Roman legend held to have been the location where city founders Romulus and Remus were nursed by a wolf. The Luperci would then cut the goat's skin into strips and run around the Palatine Hill in Rome, striking women with the goat skin. The festival was the festival was to enable or facilitate fertility. If you were struck by a Lupercus, one of the priests, it was considered that you would give birth to more children, he explained. How do you think it was a sadistic beating? And now listen to this guy. He says, how can it be a sadistic beating? The beating should be considered symbolic. How do you ladies feel about that in the comments? All right. How do you ladies feel about that? All right. So the most plausible theory for the whipping was that it was served as an initiation, he says, as ritualized sexual play that marked a boy's transition into adulthood. Nevertheless, the historian emphasizes that modern scholars have different theories about the practice, and that there's more evidence that the Romans themselves were puzzled by the naked priest behavior. Okay, now watch this. Did y'all hear that? Naked priest, little boys, little children. Let's move on. Can I say it again? Naked priest, naked little boys. The priest would get the boys into manhood, and then they would go whip the girls to impregnate them. So we had male abuse. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Without the ritual at the Roman festival, there appears to be little correlation. Hold on, let's move forward. There's a calendar overlap that there's no indication that one was placed by another. The earliest historical record of Lupercalia was from the 3rd century BCE, while the last record was the end of the 5th century CE. Around the same time, Pope Gelasius created a day for Saint Valentine. The earliest record of Valentine's Day as a celebration of love and fertility, so far as I know, is from the 14th century. Hmm. So I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think it's crazy? Do you think that history is starting to catch up? The one of the most famous lines by Malcolm X that I love, that I use all the time, is that when people start to find out these things, like yours truly, I'm always a deep diver in such things. Um, the chickens have come home to roost, and I don't like to hold information to myself. I like to share it. with you guys. I want you guys to absolutely 100% know what it is that I know, right? I'm not telling you not to love anybody. I'm just telling you not to do it under the umbrella that had so much hate and physical abuse, right? Or the forcing of women to be put in these situations. Young ladies between the ages of 11 and 14, men between the ages of 40, priests dancing around naked. It is amazing that some of the stuff you learn by listening to this stuff, some of the stuff you learn by doing a deep dive into history itself. A lot of things they want you to know, a lot of things they don't want you to know. But sometimes all you have to do is go to some of these areas, right? Go to some of these huge churches that's been around for 500 years that are still there and look at the statues of the priest. I mean, it's self-explanatory. This stuff, you can't call it a lie when it's a 500-year-old carving in a church showing a naked priest with a naked little boy, a little girl. Anybody ever seen those statues? If you have not, please Google them. And that's the thing I want you guys to understand. There's two holidays that irritate me. The first one is Thanksgiving because we know the history behind that. We know that, and for Thanksgiving, that they came over, made friends, learned how to plant the fields, and learned how to learn everything about our Native American brothers and sisters, and then they went on a slaughter path. All the male men, all the chiefs were decapitated, and the kids were in certain journals that you will read in the Smithsonian. It says that the kids were kicking the heads of the chiefs as if their heads were balls, like they played with them like they were toys. If you go read the journals of some of these men back in the day, these were happy times for them. These were happy times for the Caucasian man, the European man, when he walked up on a group of people and wiped them out, and then took the girls, the daughters. This is Thanksgiving. Took the daughters and sold them at 6 or 7 years old. The little girls, the mothers, same thing. The men, deleted. The strong men, definitely deleted. There's a record. I can't go into details because I don't want to get struck or taken down. But there's details about what happened, what these older men did to these children. It's amazing how horrible these things are, and we know nothing about them. They declared it. I think George Washington. I want to make sure my history is correct here because I'm a history guru here. I want to make sure I'm talking about the same person here. I think it's George Washington. Yes, George Washington decided that we would call what they did to our brothers and sisters, our Indian brothers and sisters, our Native American brothers and sisters, they would call it Thanksgiving Day, and that we will sit around the table and we would eat and get real fat, and go into gluttony because everybody overeats during that time. We'll do gluttony, we'll sin gluttfulness, and then we'll also be celebrating the demise of a culture of people by sitting around the table saying how thankful we are for a holiday that destroyed damn near a whole lineage of people. I digress. So this is your little known fact today about today's holiday. Are we still saying happy Valentine's Day? In the chat right now, before we move on to news, put a 1 in the chat if you did not know this information. Come on, quickly. Let me see. If you did not know this information and it changed your life today, or it changed your mindset, or it made you look at things differently, made you want to get up and start thinking about these different things, start, researching these things, put a 1 in the chat if this helped you today, if you learned something today. Anya, thank you. Randy, you guys didn't know, and it's okay. That's why I'm here. I will continue to educate. I'll continue to educate because think about this. We go into stores and we spend all this money and they just pretty much monetized the destruction of other people. Thanksgiving, same thing. How do the Native American? You know what? During Thanksgiving, I'm gonna do it. Maybe I may do it before that because I'm feeling urge to do that. But there's a video on YouTube where there's some Native American brothers and sisters that are speaking about the holiday, and they hate it. They say, "You guys, every year on where we out there on the native land, we know that you guys are celebrating a holiday that destroyed my ancestors." And we sit down at the table and we hold hands and say how thankful we are, and we say Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Valentine's Day. What about those little girls who didn't make it through that turmoil and being struck and beat? If you are against domestic violence, do you really want to be celebrating Valentine's Day? Ask yourself that question. If you're a woman out there and you're a feminist and you're all for the balance of women, do you really want to celebrate Valentine's Day? Do you really want to go to the store and pick up that heart full of candy? Do you really want to celebrate that day? Because again, we can alleviate the holiday by just loving people 365 days a year. Stop waiting, stop procrastinating to show your love. Don't let a holiday be the definition of your love for someone. Be that love for someone in spite of a holiday. Okay. All right. So moving on, guys, listen, moving on to sports. Guys, did you watch the Super Bowl last night? If you did, put a 1 in the chat. Super Bowl went down to a nail biter last night. The Bengals, who I was rooting for, did not win. And I'm so sorry, Bengals. I apologize. But you played a hell of a game and you will be back. Your young team, you'll be back. The person that won, the team that won, which will remain nameless. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams. They did a magnificent job. Matthew Stafford was put out to pasture and said he was no longer good. And his first year with another team, he wins the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I'm also happy for Odell Beckham. I'm also happy for Von Miller getting his second one. They said he was washed up in Denver. He went over to Los Angeles, first year in, ring. Aaron Donald may be retiring after he won the big game yesterday. One of the best defensive backs that have ever laced up the cleats. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams on their win. Joe Burrow, great season. See you next year. So, all right. So we're going to move on over to, let's see, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up here. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and, because I'm having a little technical difficulties here. So hold just 1 second. Let's see here. And I'll be back with y'all in 20 seconds. 1 second. I'm back. I don't know if you guys, as content creators, ever run into an issue with your camera overheating. Ooh, but my camera overheated real quick. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Anyway, guys, so back to what I was saying. Um, Congratulations to the St. Louis Rams. I mean, St. Louis, Jesus, Los Angeles Rams on their Super Bowl win. Um, Guys, I mean, let me tell you something. I want to talk about this halftime show. Woo! This halftime show, guys. Listen. For the people that grew up in the late '80s and early '90s, if you knew, let's see, NWA, Dr. Dre, Death Row Records, like if you knew those, everybody was awake. Hold on. Just say I'm copy. Hey guys, if I'm copy, say put a one in the chat. If my sound is choppy, put a one in the chat. If my sound is choppy, put a one in the chat. So anyway, so man, for them to for the world to okay, that's one for Steven that he said I'm copy. Anybody else can't hear me or think I'm copy? Go ahead. Put it in the chat real quick. Sorry about that, guys, if it is choppy. But I'm struggle streaming today. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Well, okay, one if it's choppy, two if it's not. All right, so I should be good now. So anyway, back to what I was saying, man. I'm gonna get these stories out today. I don't know what's going on with this struggle streaming today. There you go. Thank you, Sir Hill. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get it figured out. It only does this during the day, Sir Hill. I don't know why it does during the day. At night, I don't have none of these issues, bro. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so here we go. I'm gonna share this screen with you guys real quick. Man, if you guys did not see this halftime show last night, Eminem took a knee. I know did nobody notice that. Maybe you noticed it, maybe you did not. Eminem took a knee. Um, let's see here. Dr. Dre came out. They had this. If you know, you watched it, but the thing that I liked about it the most, guys, while I'm saying this, go ahead and put your favorite parts right now in the chat about what you liked about it last night. I like the fact that they had this big old studio thing, like you were in like a studio board in there, soundboard in there, surrounding the whole thing. So he was able to move within those different things. And man, Dr. Dre, they killed it last night. Mary J. Blige in her 50s. At first, I was like, Mary, come on, boo, you a little too old, be out there throwing it, come on now. But then I had to realize, hey man, listen, Mary J. Blige said, I'm 50 something, you're 55, 53 years old. I'm finna go out here and kill it. So she killed it. So I got to change my mindset on that. Man, then 50 Cent hanging upside down. I thought, 50 Cent got a little heavy. So I thought 50 Cent was going, listen, I thought 50 Cent was going, I thought those ankles was going to get a little loose. He may fall. If he failed, it'd been over for me. I had to call the ambulance to come get me. But to have all those people come in, man, then have Anderson .Paak on the drums, not singing, not performing, just man, I was super excited, man. Super duper excited about that, man. So, man, tell me what you guys thought. Man, I know Vaughn said he loves all of it. All of it. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. So, man, again, guys, I want to. That was some of the news for today. To congratulate the Super Bowl winners in the Los Angeles Rams. Also to talk about the halftime show. But for the people that didn't come in, that just came in, I just want to reiterate what I talked about today. Um, Look what she said, may I offer my slapping services? Yes, Adrian, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So, guys, just to reiterate what I said, that you can celebrate whatever holiday you want. It is my job and my responsibility as a content creator to bring you the truth, whether I like it or not. Sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it hits me as well, but I have to be well rounded. And if I know something, I can't keep holding it back if I have a platform to express it, right? So on Valentine's Day, going back to what I said earlier before I close out here, on Valentine's Day is it started off as a fertility holiday where men would sacrifice animals and goats. They would take the goat skin and tie them together real quickly. I'll go over this again, and they would beat the women, and the women that would survive the beatings would be given over to the men that were mid-range, age between 35 and 40. The young ladies would be between 11 and 14, right? And the paganistic holiday became so great, that's so addictive. Because listen, if as a Catholic person, you go through certain things, when they do, every year they have Ash Wednesday. You know why? Because they have something called Mardi Gras, and Mardi Gras is another example. So for you guys to understand what it is, Mardi Gras is a prime example, another example of what that festival looked like. If you've ever been to Mardi Gras, you if you've ever been to Mardi Gras, you know exactly what goes on in Mardi Gras. And so the festival was just like Mardi Gras. And what the Catholic Church did, they couldn't handle the fact that they were losing members because they weren't adopting it. So what they did was they adopted it. They took it a day back. So instead of celebrating on the 15th, they took it to the 14th. And then the priest that actually did it was Saint Valentine. And so Saint Valentine named it, they named it that holiday after him, and they call it Valentine's Day. And they continued to have the festival under the umbrella of Christianity when it had nothing to do with Christianity. But they used it to convince people to come back to the church. And they allowed them 1 week out of the year to celebrate this festival where there was beating of young girls. And then the men of the church, the priest, will become naked during the sacrifice of the goats. And they would have the little boys with them during the sacrificing of the goats while they were naked. Yeah. Think about that, and think about that in modern times, right? So this is just a little history today I wanted to share with you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you guys are just coming in, please hit the like buttons. That will be appreciated so much. Sorry for the technical difficulties today. Hopefully tomorrow we can go a little bit further, a little bit longer, but I'll try to time these just right. Between my work schedule as well, because I am still getting the bag. But with you guys' help, this may be the bag in the future. So, guys, thank you so much again. If you're just coming in, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have so many content creators that's in the chat right now. It's overwhelming. I see superstars everywhere. My guy Sir Hill Speaks is in the building. I see Real Talk with Mimsy Limbs. I see, let's see who else is in here before we get out of here. I see, man. I just want to thank everybody. Anya, thank you. Inga, thank you. Randy, Mimsy, Sir Hill Speaks, Wally, thank you for coming by, man. Everybody that came and support me, that supports me every day with this content, I appreciate you. I'm going to continue to bring this content, right? Now, if you guys are not doing anything tonight, I will be co-hosting, which I do every Monday. Every Monday, I co-host with the Unsolicited Security Boss. If you have not subscribed to her page, please go subscribe to Unsolicited Security Boss. I myself have, she asked me to co-host with her. I co-host with her on her platform every Monday, and we get it in over there. So make sure you do that. Go over and subscribe to her page. I'll be there tonight. Also tonight, I will be with Sir Hill Speaks in the building. So if you have not subscribed to Sir Hill Speaks, please go to Sir Hill Speaks. We're going to be talking about, with Sir Hill Speaks tonight, we're going to be talking about why are good men on child support. We talking about that thing tonight on Sir Hill Speaks. So go over to Sir Hill Speaks Network and go ahead and subscribe and like his channel as well. Thank you guys so much. You are amazing. You are truly amazing. Thank you for the support. You guys give me more support than anybody that's closest to me. And so I love each one of you. I'm giving each one of you a virtual hug right now. You guys stay safe out there. And remember what I always say before I get out of here. Do something nice for someone today. Buy someone's coffee that's standing behind you. Buy someone's lunch that's in the car behind you at the window. All right? Buy those few items of an elderly person standing in line with you at Walmart. Right? But absolutely understand this. If you can't find anybody to do anything nice for, please, self-care is the best care. Do something nice for yourself. This is Black Men Unfiltered. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Until tomorrow, peace.